Hi, my name is Alex Johnson II. I am the Mayor of the City of Albany, Oregon. And as a servant leader of the City of Albany, Oregon, it's my job to lead the City Council in legislation, ordinances, to keep the city up and running, to balance our budget, to make sure that citizens of Albany have a safe place to live, a livable city that's where they can enjoy having their families, to ensure that our lights stay on, our sewers are working properly, to make sure that the City of Albany is a safe place to live now and in the future. In 2018, the City Council, I was the first Black elected official in the history of Albany, and I think it dates back to 1862. And when I decided to run for mayor in 2020, I became the first Black mayor ever elected in the City of Albany. It has been actually a wonderful experience. I think Albany was ready for change. Because I won my City Council seat for Ward 2 with 70.25% of the vote, I knew that there was people that are interested in me leading the city, just didn't have a lot of awareness on what the other parts of the city felt. And when I decided to run, I announced during the Black History Month, I was the third speaker, and it was more like a town hall like I mentioned earlier, but it started spreading that Alex is running for mayor. And more people approached me about the possibility of me running for office, for mayorship. And I ran, and support came from both sides of the aisle, Republican and Democrat and Independent. And it was one of those things where the City of Albany kind of changed. It was, wow, this guy's gonna do some great things for the city. And the support has been overwhelming. It has been absolutely overwhelming. And because of that, I do things like I walk a neighborhood and people join me for that walk. And they ask me questions about the city, or I'll go to a high school softball game and I'll go watch the game with the parents, or a baseball game. I try to do a boys or girls thing. But one thing that I think I really take great pride in is I'll do a lunch out where I'll call a local restaurant and invite people to join me from 1 o'clock to 3 for lunch at this mom and pop restaurant or at a park, and people come and join me for lunch. And they can share their ideas with me. They can get my take on things. They can find out what direction we're going in the city. And it's non-threatening because they're not on camera. They're just sitting talking to me and having a good time. So when the executive director, Lanisha Duke, reached out to me about it, we did a Zoom meeting, and she kind of shared her vision for what she wanted for this conference, the networking conference, and I bought in. It was something that I think we need, especially coming out of the metropolitan areas, out rural. I think more people need to know that things are happening in the state, and it's time. It's time for us to step into the light and say, I want to run for office, or I'm going to engage in my local government. So being a part of something like that means a lot to me. That she honored me enough with an invitation and gave me the choice to be here or not. And for me, seeing the faces and hearing the stories of other people that are going through or changing things or adding to value to our kids and our communities, it's really important that I'm not fighting this fight by myself. So people can be engaged. First, I would start with your city council, your city's website. Most people do not think that they can call their city councilor or their mayor and say, I'd like to have a meeting with you. Because over time, over the last 20 years, 30 years, it's kind of been discouraged. The mayor's too busy. Well, actually, not so much, right? For me, I set my own schedule. I'm an entrepreneur, I have my own business. And so for me, I block time out for the citizens of Albany, and they have my personal cell phone number. So if they're courteous enough, they'll text me, do you have time next Wednesday? I'll reply back, yes, I do. These are the hours. And they'll make an appointment, and my assistant puts it on my calendar, and I meet with them. And most times people are like really great. They want to find out about me. They want to know what my vision is for the city. They want me to explain how our local government works. And more and more young people are doing that. During 2020, I taught over 450 high school seniors how to register to vote. Wow, it was amazing. I mean, how can you unpack that, right? They had never done that before. And so those same high school seniors that have gone on to college, gone off to university and Penn State, and one young lady going to Yale from South Albany High School, she watches the city council meetings when she has time. Because it's live, you can watch the recording on YouTube or you can watch it Facebook Live. But these young people that will eventually, hopefully come back to Albany, will come back knowing that their mayor and city council paid attention to them, and want them to participate in the city because, like I said earlier, we all have sight. We have to keep the sewers clean. We have to make sure things are working. The roads are good. But do we have vision enough for the next 25 or 30 years? That's what we have to get to. And that's across the board, nationwide. We have to get to the vision because it's not about us. It really is not about me. I'm 57 years old. That waterfront that we're putting in July, starting in July, that's going to be a 100-year project. That means that thing's going to be there for the next 3 or 4 generations. I'll be gone, but they're going to benefit from work that we're doing right now. But we have to get them involved in the discussion. So the 5th grader, they want to be a part of the discussion now. They want to know there's a splash pad going in. So when they bring their children back, I know the mayor that put this in, right? I mean, he came to my classroom when I was in 5th grade. And so that it spreads that civic engagement across generations versus just right now. So for my community, our community, what I recommend all of us do, don't wait like I did. You know, I didn't even delve into city council. If it wasn't for my neighbor, I would have never known about what goes on in the city, because I'm running my own business. I'm a youth sports official doing football games every Friday night. You know, I have a family of my own, I have grandkids. I was focused on my world alone. Well, I didn't know I had the time, because once I started getting involved with the city stuff, going to meetings, putting it on my schedule, I had the time. I was just using it for things that was kind of wasteful, actually. You know, watching TV or, you know, things I really didn't need to be doing. And my wife appreciates the fact that now my schedule is color-coded. She knows what I'm doing, where I'm doing it. She knows that between this time and this time is family time, no interruptions. And so time management and time blocking has been really great for me. So I encourage young Black people, people of color, period, especially Black men, to know what's going on in the city. Go to the city's website and learn about their local government and look at the agendas before the meeting, because it may impact them. And they can send information to the city and then speak at the meeting and address those issues. I personally encourage people to say, you know, don't just talk to me about it. Send us your notes, or send us a write-up. We'll put it in the agenda so everybody gets it, all counselors get it, and then you can come talk to us. I'll give you some time to sit down and talk to us. And people are doing that. More and more people are getting engaged, and I think it's wonderful. I on my planning commission, when I cleaned out the planning commissions, I have a Black woman as a vice director at Samaritan Hospitals. She's a chair of my planning commission. A PhD student is not PhD. He's a works for the state. He's on my planning commission. He's also my community development commission. I have a Black mortgage lender on my community development, which doles out money to nonprofits for homeless issues, mental health issues. Roosevelt's on that commission. More and more people of color said, you know what, if he can do it, I can do this. I need to get involved, and they're getting involved. And all it takes is the spark, right? One person to say, you know what, we got to do this. I have to do something. Albany's been good to me. I've been there 27 years, and now I'm giving back. I'm serving the community, all the community, but the Black and brown community are now reaching out saying, what else are we working on? What else do you need my help with? You know, Latinos reach out to me, Asians reach out to me. Are you going to do these things? Yes, I am. How are we going to make that work? And they'll actually bring me a proposal of how they would make it work. I said, you know what, bring this to City Council. Come to City Council. I appointed the first transgender person to our Human Relations Commission, Robin Davis. So change is, I told people, the only constant I know is change. Get used to it, because Albany's going to change. On the flip side, I've had people come to my house, please don't change Albany. Seriously, you know, please don't, but I say the change has already started. Either you come on board, come sit down with me, have a cup of coffee and find out what's going to happen or what's going to happen, what the plans are, or you can be upset. I said, but I'd rather you be a part of the team and be a part of the solution than be upset about it. And 9 times out of 10, they're like, you know what, let's make a meeting so we can do that. And I get the young parents involved because I carry tokens for our carousel. I carry 100 of these a month. Whenever I see a child with their family, I say, excuse me, young man, have you taken your mother to the carousel lately? No. Would you like to? And they light up, yes, I would. So I give them 2 tokens for the carousel. I give the mother my business card, or father my business card. Then they call me going, I would like to talk to you and get to know you a little bit. So now I got people coming to me at least 100 a month that haven't done that before. And they'll sit down and talk to me about their issues or how they want to help the city. And so encouraging that engagement has worked tremendously, and more people are doing it. It's really exciting when you sit down with someone, they go, I never thought that a Black man would be elected, but I never thought, but being quite honest, I never thought that things would be going this well. He says, I thought people would be upset. He says, but everybody I talked to was like, what's the mayor working on now? You know, and it's wonderful when these older white folks are like, this is the best thing that happened to Albany in 24 years. you know, the mayor actually talks to us. He actually shares ideas. He actually invites us to participate. That never happened before. And I think it's wonderful. And I think that we are on the track to be a city that is a force to reckon with. Economic development wise, our new waterfront. We have free concerts every summer. Sheena Easton's the first one this summer coming in. River Rhythms, that's one of the a series of 6 on Thursdays. We have world-class restaurants. We have 2 Michelin-star restaurants in Albany, right? People don't know that. And so it's just my job to get the message out. Our carousel is one of the best in the West Coast, probably in the whole western side of the United States. It has a museum. It has beautifully hand-carved animals on it. I could talk all day about my city. I'm sorry.
No need. You have to be proud of the city.
I'm happy with the city of Albany is an amazing place.
Yeah.
And you know, I just finished the mayor's letter for the visitors guide. I put one out, a couple of them out there. You know, I put that in there, signed it. And what I want people to know is that I-5 doesn't just end at Portland. It goes all the way to the Mexico border. Stop in Albany, have a cup of coffee. Come check out Albany. I think you'll be quite impressed with it.